Atlanta United Fan TV here with Mark. 2-0. Finally on the board. I think it's it's a good step forward.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we saw signs of progress, obviously. In addition to the 2 goals, all the chances created, they finished with 19 shots.
Right.
And that's more the Atlanta that we're used to. So yeah, very encouraging performance.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, there were a lot of scuff chances or just sitters that we missed. But I think maybe that's just something that they can build on, because it's I think confidence has been kind of low at this point.
Absolutely. It's just one of those things where it's like you would take the creative chances, especially given previous performances. It's like considering going back to the Philly game where they didn't have a shot for 30 minutes. Yeah. So this was obviously a lot better. At first, it was a little bit of a struggle.
Right.
They're on the road at New England. Fair enough. That's a team that needs a win. So, but once the game settled, I felt like it was pretty much Atlanta. And New England didn't see much after the first 10, 15 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
which was interesting because, the first really 10 seconds, Eric Rometty unfortunately gets clattered, and hopefully he gets well soon. Hopefully it's not too serious. But Barco comes on. He changes the game. And it's something that a lot of fans, I'm sure, were wondering, why wasn't he in the first place?
I certainly was wondering that myself. I wasn't surprised that a somewhat cautious lineup, but to go with 3 pure central midfielders and having Nagby be the creative hub, it didn't really look like too much was going to come from that. And Barco came on and changed the game. So, yes, absolutely, I agree with that sentiment. Hopefully he starts next week, I think. And at this point, I think he's been the best attacker, of the season. Yeah,
I mean, he is leading our team with goals, which is kind of crazy to say for, those people that were very, anti-Barco for not shooting in the box or even shooting in general. Right. And so, that second goal, que golazo, oh my God.
I screamed, I moaned, I did it all. That was a little dirty, I'm sorry. But, no.
TMI.
But it's, I think it's, yes, the end product, I think, was a fair criticism. We needed to see that. So it's his first brace for the club, big moment. But also, you look at the role that Joseph played today, and he himself did struggle with a couple chances. But overall, I thought he was good. Yep. In the first goal, Joseph drops, and he plays it onto Tito. And defenders are watching Joseph because he is the league MVP, and he had already had a couple shots that gets in your head as a defender. And the second goal, Joseph made that run, and I think Tito was looking for him, but it ends up at Barco, who's wide open. So it's these guys got to play together. You got to get the creative players on at the same time and let them really go after these MLS defenses. And I'm excited to see what PD does, and I'd like to see all 4 of them start together, honestly. 4-2-3-1, roll it out there. Let's batter some teams.
Yeah. Now, do you think De Boer's going to do that? I mean, it's one of those things where, it was like a little bit more 4-3-3 where, yes, at the start, it looks more defensive, right? Now, can we actually place this on De Boer for bringing on Barco, or was it a forced hand type of deal?
It was a forced hand. That's the thing, So that's my bone to pick with De Boer with this. It's that the lineup.
Because in terms of other central midfielders, we kind of don't have any other ones outside of the ones that he's played. Right?
Yeah, if Rometty doesn't play next week, it has to be Nagby and Lorenowitz, and then we'll see we'll see how he, I guess, adjusts. But I don't know. Yeah.
No, and I get what you're saying, but in terms of this match as a whole, is more of a kind of hopefully, I don't think so, but hopefully it's not a red herring. Hopefully this is something we can actually build on.
New England have been dreadful for sure. So a little bit of a red herring, but I do think it's something. The team looked better, and form is important. And the next 2 games are, you would say, winnable games. So they need to, in my opinion, win those games. Right. I do, but yeah, you see, like Tito, for example. Tito was excellent today. The work rate, the runs that were there. That's one thing I will say about the performance as well, is that those runs, those through balls, they were there. Joseph, Tito, Gressel, they all had their looks. Right. So, that's important. I think that those players will come good.
Right. Yeah. I think it was also a variety of the attack as well. It was balls over the top. It was through balls. It was crosses. It wasn't just the same thing.
Exactly. And then what I also really liked, and I'll credit the board for this, is, what we want to see out of the possession style is chances created, and then also being able to see out games. And I thought they did that very well. There weren't too many looks at all for New England, and I wouldn't say after like the 10th minute, none of them were really dangerous. I mean, they had a couple shots right at Guzan. That was about it. Yeah. So
fair. Yeah, and then so moving on to FC Dallas. I mean, what's something that is from this match that you can really pull from to say, yes, we're on the right track?
The look. The look, I would say overall. I mean, like the players are starting to look comfortable. I think LGB talked about understanding what the coach wants, but also marrying their style to it. And I think that's what we always expected. You know what I mean? Was a gradual change. And so I feel like today we really saw. I mean, they just look, for lack of a better word, just competent. You know what I mean? But like when Atlanta looks competent, we're banging on all cylinders. So that was hands down the best performance of the season, I think.